The METUS Tech Show.
Welcome to the METUS Tech Show, a show for HVAC professionals by HVAC professionals.
I like how you guys bounce back and forth between heat pump talk and food talk.
The METUS Tech Show.
Mitsubishi.
So Fakhr, I hear you like seafood.
Yeah, that's right. I like all kind of seafood, like lobsters, tunas, sushi, baked seafood, fried seafood, shrimps.
Now, do you do the like the raw clams, raw oysters and raw clams?
I like oysters, I like clams, but I'll stop there.
I like cooked oysters and clams.
Yeah,
not doing the raw stuff.
I like them raw. The raw little cherry stones. Not so much oysters, but the little cherry stone clams. I like them. Little necks.
Wow.
You can't. Maybe not. But,
Yeah, so Paul and I are from New England. So up in New England, it's the fisherman's platter. So that's just a big platter full of fried clams, fried shrimp, fried scallops, fish, and I'm probably leaving some things out. Also lobster rolls from Maine,
Wow.
right? We have the
Wow,
lobster. Have you ever had a lobster roll, Fakhr?
Yeah, I had.
Okay.
And I had something probably not many people had was crawfish in Louisiana.
oh yeah.
Oh, really?
So I was in Louisiana for a long time, and they have crawfish. And
Oh, they're good. I love
No,
crawfish.
I've never had
Yeah.
crawfish.
Oh, no, you gotta
try
have
that.
crawfish.
You gotta have crawfish.
Yeah, that's really good. So let me ask you, Fakhr, if you had a choice right now between a giant baked stuffed lobster or a piece of swordfish or a piece of tuna, like seared ahi tuna, which one would you go for?
I go for the lobster.
The lobster? Yeah, every time. Every time.
Lobster is every time.
Now, Paul, you had something interesting last week that you sent me a picture of, the steak and cheese and lobster sub.
A lobster,
Oh, wow.
a lobster cheesesteak is what it was, and it sounded delicious. It looked delicious. It tasted delicious. But about a half hour, maybe 20 minutes after I ate it, I regretted it.
Yeah, it looked like a lot. You had
It was heavy.
a lot of food in front of you.
It was heavy, and then they have what they call was in southern Jersey, near Philly, near Maryland. So they get these things they call crab fries, which is nothing more than French fries with a lot of salt and Old Bay seasoning. There's not a speck of crab in it. But they're good. But I don't want to say the sub was bad because it wasn't. It was delicious, but it was so heavy that at the end of that, then at my age, you got to watch what you eat because it comes back and it it's like that commercial you see for the antacids where the food's slapping the people around. That's what happened to me. The food was slapping me around, body slamming.
See, my wife says at my age, just watch other people eat.
Yeah.
That's right. That's good advice. It's really good advice. What about clam chowder, Fakhr? You like clam chowder?
I like clam chowder.
Okay.
I go for that.
Yeah, clam chowder, seafood chowder.
Seafood chowder. Yeah, seafood gumbo. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the gumbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the
Well, now
gumbo.
see, he's Louisiana.
Now we're talking.
Who's talking?
Yeah. I had never had gumbo and what's the other one? Isn't there another seafood?
Jambalaya.
Jambalaya.
Oh, jambalaya. is
So
delicious.
gumbo, jambalaya. A couple of years back, we were at the National Sales Conference in New Orleans and got to try a little bit of the gumbo and the jambalaya. So really
Right.
good.
Have you ever had steamed clams?
No.
Okay, so you got to try. You got to come up to Boston and get some steamers, right? So they got the little steamer clams, and the way I make them is I take the water. Start off with water. I wash each clam individually because they have sand in there. So you got to get the sand out. Some people put, I think, cornmeal on so the clams will ingest the cornmeal and then it hides the sand, or the sand falls out. But I take a half a stick of butter. I take an onion and some bay leaves and some salt.
Wow.
I put that in the water, and then a third of the clams are in the water. Get that water boiling, and then you stir the clams around. It gets more of the sand out. And then you pour the broth into a cup. You get some fresh French or Italian bread or a nice crispy, the crusty bread.
Right.
You eat the steamers. It's got a little piece you take off in there. Dip them in the butter, dip them in the broth. Oh, it's so good. We got to come up to Boston. We'll get you some steamers.
Yeah, definitely.
Wrap up to Boston.
What about stuffed quahogs?
Stuffed quahogs are good. I've made those. My brother lives, The people on the other side of the canal wouldn't consider it the Cape, but he considers it the Cape. He lives in Bourne. He has a house in Bourne, and he's got the clamming license. So he'll go out and get fresh clams, fresh quahogs, the big ones. The big clams you can't eat raw. They're just too big, too tough. But you open up, you just steam them for a few minutes. You open them up, you take out the meat, you chop it up with all kinds of spices, some chorizo in there and some other spices. You chop it up, and then you fill the shells back up. Some breading, I take the Portuguese rolls, the Pop Six, and you chop all that up in there, and you just stuff the clams, and then you bake them. Oh, they're wicked good.
You can start a seafood gig at a side business.
I could, but I don't like fishing though, so that's the problem. I'm the only Portuguese guy in the world
that don't like fishing.
The only Portuguese guy in the world that hates fishing and soccer.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, you want to fix the soccer? Pick up the ball and run with it, okay? It's just, we played for an hour and a half, we're tied at 1-1, or 0-0, that's even worse.
Well, anyway, welcome to the METUS Tech Show, everybody. We are at the Contractor Community Summit, 2024 Contractor Community Summit. So there's some noise behind us. We got a lot of things happening this week. This is actually the biggest event that we've held.
Yeah, there's 900 people here. I think there's 700 Diamond Elite contractors, and some of them have guests, and then the METUS folks. So there's roughly 900 people here. We're in, what city are we in? Again, we're in Austin, Texas?
We're in Austin.
Yeah, we're in Austin, Texas.
Round Rock.
Round Rock, Texas, actually, just so for those people who know. But the weather here is beautiful, I got to tell you. I left Boston. It was probably in the high 30s, low 40s. We landed here Sunday night. It was about 80 degrees and humid, which I haven't experienced for a couple of months. Wow. So, and then right now we walked up this morning, people having breakfast outside, and it was like 75 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, the amount of HVAC experience in this building this week is just staggering. I sat at a table yesterday with someone with 54 years in the HVAC trade, since he was 16 in the HVAC trade. That's pretty impressive.
His first refrigeration system was ice.
Ice blocks, right?
Yeah, ice blocks.
So we have Fakhr on our show, and we're going to talk a little bit about our new Wi-Fi app, which is actually used to be Kumocloud, getting ready to release a whole new Wi-Fi app. And Fakhr, you've been heading this. Fakhr, tell us a little bit about your background and what you do at Mitsubishi.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me on the podcast. So my name is Fakhr Ul-Islam. I've been with Mitsubishi about 2 years now, and I started as a Kumocloud Product Manager. But my job right now is to launch the new Comfort app, which will replace the Kumocloud app, and it's a from scratch app, like grounds up. And
right from scratch. That's awesome.
So Kumocloud's completely sunset.
Yes, completely sunset. We want all the old adapter folks who upgrade to the new wireless interface adapter. And once that is done, we will pull the plug on the old app, and you will start using the new Comfort app.
Okay, good.
Okay, so the old app will still be used for some time while the new app is available?
Yeah, for like about 3% of the population who still need time to upgrade to the new adapter, that's the only thing that will keep it going. But we want to launch, market, start people using the new Comfort app. There's no going back.
Right. Yeah, so I've since I've started, I've been with Mitsubishi for 7 years, and I took a liking to Kumocloud when I started here. I love the whole Wi-Fi. It intrigued me. So I was very involved in a lot of what happened with Kumocloud, working with Charles Maltiades, and just trying to make that product the best it possibly can. And this has been a long time coming to try and just start from scratch, make a new app. Can you talk to us and fill us in on what's new on that app? What improvements have been done?
Yeah, so we can talk about two things on the app. One aspect is doing things better, and one is doing new things. Yeah. So on the betterment side, this is a much better, faster, slicker app, less touch points. It's more user-friendly, has nice look and feel, and you feel like you're touching something that actually works. It's very responsive. It's new technology stack we're using, React Native. The old app had Angular up to like some versions of Angular. This is React Native, so it's more scalable.
Okay.
It's more resilient. Once you have connectivity sticks. You don't lose your zones and those things. So there's a lot of fixes done in this app, does things better, but also we have new features like we have out-of-box comfort settings. We have multi-device provisioning. So all these are meant to have things done faster
Okay.
and much easier.
Talk about multi-device provisioning. What is that?
So what happens is that in today's Kumocloud app, if you have your installer and you are at a job site and you have to provision, say, 10 devices, so you do one at a time. So you need to first connect one, make sure it's connecting over the network, check the firmware version. Once that is done, you start the second, the third, and the fourth, and it takes like 30 minutes to get there. And if one unit doesn't connect the first time, you redo that unit, so you keep on going. That's kind of frustrating for installers. They want to get the job done and out of there as fast as possible. In the new app, we have multi-device provisioning, so you can see all 10 units ready to connect. You say, click, 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 and they all connect at the same time. So
that's wonderful.
It's asynchronous. And not just that, you can pick a zone name during the provisioning. Say, this is my living room, that's my bedroom, that's my basement. So before no time, you have all devices connected and ready to be to work as a zone. So you can set the dual set points. And
You just made a bunch of contractors who've installed Kumocloud. You just made them very happy.
yeah, that's the idea. We want people to adapt the comfort app because all new Mitsubishi products on the residential or light commercial side are supposed to use the new app. So anything new coming down the road, 2025, 2026, will be using the comfort app.
All right. And I'm sorry if you heard some chewing going on.
Yeah, I looked over. Paul's eating pigs in a blanket or
You
something.
know,
I
it's
don't know.
somebody dropped me off this pastry, and I don't know, it's like a mini little croissant type of thing, but not quite. It's real crispy, and it's got bacon inside. And I took a bite, and I could hear it come through the microphone. I don't know if you're gonna hear it, if our audience is gonna hear it, but I apologize. I couldn't not eat it.
No worries. We can't help ourselves. We go right back to talking about food on this podcast.
So we've had a lot of feedback. I know we're digressing here, but we've had a lot of feedback from listeners here who listen to us, and they said, "You guys stop talking about food, or I'm in the van. I get hungry. I have to make sure before I listen to you guys, I have to have breakfast or lunch. I can't eat.
Right.
I can't listen to you guys on an empty stomach. So we're sorry, but getting back to the Comfort app. So and I'm sorry if you already said this when I was eating, but this is going to connect the same way as far as physically installing it. I'm still using the CN105.
That's right, using CN105, but we call it provisioning. In easy, simple English is setting up the indoor units. So that's much easier. Straightforward, flows are better. And also this the Comfort app will have rich help text available. So you will get in-help, contextual help, you get help FAQs. You can go to the MitsubishiComfort.com help website and see all the help articles available.
Oh, wow.
And also down the road, we will have animations available inside the app. So like, show me how do I provision. You will see a 10, 15 seconds video, a guy actually provisioning a device. So you know, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
So all that is coming in. So you'll never feel like I'm like left alone. Where do I get help? Help is right there.
So when I've connected our Wi-Fi adapters in the past, and let's say you have 5 indoor units and 5 Wi-Fi adapters already connected to those units, and I power the system up, I'm going to see 5 MAC addresses on the Kumocloud app. Is that what I'm going to see on the new app, MAC addresses?
Yeah, so you will see the MAC addresses. One, actually a big improvement is that once we have those built-in Wi-Fi's coming in, then the built-in Wi-Fi will transmit the model serial number over Bluetooth. So you will see which device I'm connecting to. You don't have to search for, like, go QR code scanning or add model number. But until that happens, this new Comfort app has 2 more ways to let you connect your indoor unit, which is you can scan the QR code on the nameplate, and then you will see, this is what this is. This is some MSC, right? What device you
MXZ,
have.
MSC or MSY wall unit.
Or the P series, you see that. If for some reason you can't scan a QR code, we let you enter the model serial number, and we make sure the model is a valid model number. If somehow you can't even do that, which is like 0.5% of installers, then we have a lookup screen. You can say, this looks like wall unit. Maybe this is what it is, right?
Okay.
You can go back and change until you are fully satisfied. This is what I have. And so it's more than one ways to identify ahead.
If you're installing anything, I don't care who manufactures it, if you're installing any HVAC piece of equipment, there's no excuse for not having a model and serial number.
Right.
Because you're going to open up the box. That's the time to take a picture of it
Right.
and have it right then and there, and or maybe even scan it then and there. But that's the time to do
Yeah,
it.
for our listeners at home, and you're hearing built-in Wi-Fi, our new A2L equipment, when it's released next year, our wall units specifically for now are going to have built-in Wi-Fi. So that's where you're saying it's much more simplified.
It's much more simple. Yeah, because our goal is that we want installers to focus on the installation of the equipment, not worry about the Wi-Fi and connectivity and all that. That's not their headache. That's our headache.
Yeah, and I think that's, if we're going to be blunt here and honest, I think part of the problem is anytime you Wi-Fi, now you're asking an HVAC contractor, and if they're around my age, they're not going to be very technical when it comes to anything Wi-Fi or internet or adapters, and you're kind of mixing two trades. So this does make it easier. I mean, if I'm a young contractor, I'm getting into the business, I'm going to understand all that stuff. I'm going to know about. Back in the days when we used to install programmable thermostats, do you have a teenager? I can show how to use this. But I think it simplifies things for the average,
Right.
especially not to this. I don't know how this is going to come out bad, but the average older technician, I think, is going to be happy about this.
Yes.
Because now it's not a mixture of two trades anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You're an HVAC expert. We don't expect you to be the Wi-Fi or connectivity expert.
Exactly.
App should do that. But not just that. On the new app, we have a walkthrough. So if you click that option walkthrough, it exactly gives you kind of a mock screens. How can it look like? What is MAC address looks like? Where do I connect? How do I So you can then try that before even doing the actual provisioning. So it makes you feel like more confident that I know what I'm getting into, and this is the end state looks like.
Nice. So with previous Kumocloud, we're looking to be on a 2.4 gigahertz band as far as the internet side, the router.
That's right.
And to your point, Paul, a lot of the old timers like ourselves, we're not so internet savvy when we go on these job sites and knowing what band we're on the router, what type of router the customer has. Are there any roadblocks as far as with the new Comfort app and any routers that the contractor may come across?
So we support all of the major routers that are being sold or installed today.
Okay.
If you have a dual band router, it will pick a 2.4 because we believe 2.4 is a better bandwidth. It has more penetration.
Right.
5 is good for streamings, but we're not streaming.
We're not looking for streaming.
We want penetration. A router just at the top floor should be able to connect to a unit in the basement. So we want penetration. So 2.4 gigahertz is our choice. If you have dual band, you will only see the 2.4 gigahertz net SSID available. You won't even see the 5 gigahertz.
Wow.
So there's no
That's
confusion.
excellent.
That's good.
That which one should I pick, right?
Yeah. So in the past, a lot of contractors because I'm an instructor, so I teach a lot of contractors. We talk a lot about Kumocloud, and when mesh routers came out, there was a lot of interference where 2.4 and 5 gigahertz bands were being transmitted through the house, and there was some issues on how Kumocloud could decipher on which band to jump onto. You're saying with the Comfort app now, a lot easier.
It's much easier. You only see 2.4 gigahertz available. So just click at that, and that's the one you want to use.
Okay.
Great, because I know that you're right. That was a big thing. It's like I selected the wrong one. I didn't know. So I love it. I love the improvement so far.
Yeah, we have done so many surveys. We have done consumer focus groups. We talked to so many installers on all these exhibitions, summits we go to. I check the feedback from our existing Kumocloud app users. So all this led us to believe that we should have the best app. We also check our competitors, see what they have, and do a better job than them. So like we have auto changeovers, right? Competitors don't have that.
Yeah.
We have auto dry to control humidity. Many competitors don't have that.
Right.
So I think it's a very good combination of what people need. But the thing is that this app launch is a never-ending process. It doesn't mean this is the last launch. This is the first launch. And so we want to have like a monthly cadence. I'm working for that. So every month you'll have new features coming in. and improvements.
Well, that's what happens with any app that you have on your phone right now. Every so often, you know, if you have an iPhone or whether you have a Samsung or whatever, every so often you're going to get an update. You're going to have to update the apps. You know,
Yeah,
so and always a continuous improvement. That's so.
Yeah, and
it's getting better and
my
better.
philosophy is that if I leave my my user just hanging and thinking where will the next upgrade be, it loses trust on the app. We want to let them know that we are always looking for better features, prospects. We'll be listening to you. So a continuous app updates build trust.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So we're recording this right now. We're, like we said, we're at the Diamond Contractor Community. Last year we never got that.
Contractor Community Summit.
We're on Contractor Community Summit 2024, and so next week is Thanksgiving, and we don't know when we're going to air this. We don't record these live, and we don't.
Right.
You know, we have it. We'll air it. We'll edit this and air it. So I don't know if this is going to come out in December. I don't know if this is going to come out next year. So that's the hard part. So when are we planning on releasing this?
Yeah, so next month before the end of the year,
Yep.
we want to launch it. The thing is that we want to have enough support available. So because people go on vacation after Thanksgiving, we have enough support available to back up the launch. So I'm gonna be here. I can cancel my vacations. Make sure my app goes. App is number one priority for me.
Yeah, that's it. You're working Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything.
I'm working 24/7.
So it's safe to say that this will be available for the contractors to offer to their end users, to their customers. It's safe to say by the end of 2024 is our goal.
Exactly. I think is that if you have the automatic app updates toggle on your phone,
Yeah.
it will download automatically. If you don't have that toggle on, some people don't like it, then you can go get from the App Store. Only thing we ask is to verify your email because we don't want to capture like bogus emails.
Right.
A valid email is good. We work with that. Once you do that, everything is there. You don't have to set up any devices differently. All your comfort settings are there.
Beautiful, wonderful.
Excellent. So, in the past, the contractor would be on a job site, get ready to connect their Kumocloud devices to the app. They would create their or use their own email and create a password. And then at the end of the connection process, they would transfer that over to the end user, to the customer. Is that the same process with Comfort app?
It's the same process. Once you are done with provisioning everything, it's like giving your keys to the new homeowner, house keys. You transfer it to them, they accept it, and that's it. The site will not show up on the contractor's phone. They'll show up in the consumer's handheld device.
Excellent.
And we're not asking the contractor to ask the customer for their phone or do anything with that.
We don't like that experience. Customers don't like it.
Yep.
So just transfer the site, and site should disappear from your phone. So we don't want two people on the same site.
Right.
Beautiful, wonderful.
Now, let's talk about the backup heat side of things. Is the Kumo station still something we're going to provide for third-party backup heat?
Yeah, we have Kumo Station with 4 channels. It's still there.
Okay.
We are selling it. We're supporting it. But we have new products coming in next year. I can't announce them. My
Right,
bosses
I've heard.
will do.
I've heard some things very
Yeah.
exciting
They are
for those that are
more
listening.
exciting, and they will eventually replace Kumo Station.
Okay, so Kumo station just temporary, but the connection process is still the same for
It's the
putting
same.
backup
Yeah.
heat.
It's just the same.
I would think with the Comfort app, the outside air sensing and display on the app is going to be like night and day compared to the older app.
It is. Yeah, it is. And we'll have more features coming in. You can change the font size on the app. You can change light and dark modes, and you can send it to Fahrenheit and maybe Spanish or French or later on.
Yeah, that's wonderful. For those of you listening, you may have noticed that the noise got a little louder. We're right in the middle of a break, so people are walking by. Literally, hundreds of people are walking by getting snacks and coffee and water and whatnot. So that should go away in a few minutes, hopefully.
Yeah, they put a podcast booth right in front of the restrooms. They
Yeah.
probably should have put it in the restroom.
Well, I
but
asked
it would have
for-
been an echo.
Because we got a restroom on one side and we got a big giant trash can on the other side. So I don't know what that says about us, but 15 feet from us in either direction is our favorite thing: food.
Food.
Well, that's excellent. I think I'm excited. I'm excited for what we're going to see with the Comfort app. It's been a long time coming. right?
Yeah.
And I think our contractors are excited. We're still, again, we haven't released our built-in Wi-Fi units. Once that is on the market next year, that's going to be a big game changer with the Comfort app.
Yeah, and on that note, we are going to start with some of the wall units where it's built-in Wi-Fi adapters already, and it's going to continue, and just more and more units as time goes on are going to come equipped with that.
We have the first FW in the lab in Swanee, and we're testing that. So it's already there, started coming in.
Yeah, beautiful.
Excellent. Now, I heard a rumor that there was going to be a weather app in the Comfort app. Is that something we could see in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a weather API from the Weather Channel that will display your outside weather. And not only that, app will give you suggested comfort settings. Hey, today looks warmer than usual. Would you like me to change the set points for you or change something for you?
Wow. Put on automated dry mode.
Automated dry mode, and you can do that from anywhere in the world. All you need is a Wi-Fi. That's it.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's great.
Because, up in New England, and Steve, you know this, but we'll have those days, in the early summer, spring, where it may be 70 degrees with like 85% humidity, and you don't need the air conditioning. I mean, if you don't have dry mode, you have to have the air conditioning, which means you're going to be colder. Right? But with the dry mode, and I love that. I used to have a house that had that, a Mitsubishi. The dry mode is great because it dries it out. It just gets rid of the humidity, and the temperature changes very little, so it's good.
Yeah, something good is coming in the first release of the app is you can define your summer and winter settings. So you define this in my summer setting, winter setting, or call it cooling and heating. So once you define that, in any unusually warmer or cooler day, like say you have a really warm day in November, cool day in May, you can stop the regular programming and go to that one summer or winter schedule.
Wow.
And once that's over, you go back to regular programming. So you don't have to delete your schedule, change everything. So
that's really nice. That's really neat. It reminds me almost of how you would set up a commercial building schedule, where you'd have a summer and winter schedule, but then there's always the exceptions. What if there's a holiday, you don't want to follow the schedule, or what if you're coming in on a weekend, you got to reset the schedule. So that's actually a really nice feature.
Yeah, the app will let you define a weekend schedule if you want to.
Wow.
Suppose you're going for a 3-day weekend, you can run it on the energy saving settings. You can do that and come back Monday. You can say Monday, Friday give me this, and Saturday, Sunday give me this. So that's possible.
Wow.
So as far as Android and iOS,
We support both.
to support both. Now, I'm an Android person. I don't like iOS. It's my personal thing. But Paul,
I hate them both. I don't like Apple. I'm sorry, and I don't like Samsung either. So I'm stuck with an Apple phone only because I have a 14-year-old, and anything that has to do with any technology at all, he's in charge. He's my IT support in my house.
Yeah.
So I said, get me a phone because I had problems with. I had an Android. I had problems with it. I had a Google Pixel something or other, and he says, Dad, here's what you need. I actually. If he could drive, I would have sent him to the store by himself. But I had to drive him, and he was like my IT attorney. He was representing me. This is what you need. This is what you need. Right? And then, all right, set it up. I go, set it up. This is what I want. Don't share any information. He goes, well, Dad, what about this and that? Then I'm going to tell you a funny story. He was very young, he was probably 3 or 4 years old, and he's got an older brother who's 4 years older. And he set up my phone, so I had a work phone, and he set up Siri. So every time I asked Siri something, Siri would say, "What can I do for you, a-hole?" Except it didn't abbreviate anything, right? And his older brother kind of, talked him into doing that. So here I am using the phone, and I go, "What?" I go, "Christopher, get in here."
but you laughed. I'm sure you laughed.
I had
about
to laugh.
it.
How could I not laugh? He was such a little. Now he's 14. He hasn't changed much, but he's a great kid, and he's my IT guy. It's
Well, whether you're Apple or Android, the Comfort app is compatible for both, and we will have more updates as time goes on. Fakhr, we'll have you back on the show. Thank you.
Yeah, and we're going to put this on our training materials. So if you come into the M&P training, it'll be on
yes.
there.
Yep, that'll be on our M&P Essentials class. Our 2-day M&P Essentials class, our 1-day Advanced Residential Controls class. and possibly in our IntelliHeat class as well.
Yeah. Fakhr, before we let you go, think about the installer, the service guy that's in the van right now. Is there anything else you want them to know about the Comfort app?
Yeah, absolutely. We want them to use the Comfort app, right? Some installers do that. It's not my job. They let the homeowner do all that. They just install the HVAC and leave. We want you to start using the app because we need your feedback.
Okay.
You are our number one most precious customers. Start using the app, the new app, and tell us how more we can improve it. Because it's a never-ending process. Yeah.
So we need the feedback from the contractors
feedback,
themselves. Excellent.
All right, well, Fakhr, thank you so much. I learned a lot about this. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
We're going to have to set this up in our classrooms, maybe get a used phone and set it up so the contractors coming to the class can experience it and how to use it. So that'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again, Fakhr, for joining
My
us.
pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right, so you guys want to hear something? Right? I'm going to eat a strawberry. Listen to this. This is a sound test. I'm going to eat a strawberry. Listen to this. Did you hear that? That was me eating a strawberry.
Yeah.
Right? Now listen to this. This is, I don't know what these called, little mini kolaches. I don't know what they are, but listen to this.
Sounds crispy.
All right? That's real food. You can't hear it. If you can't hear me eating it, it's not real food.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10 in crunchiness, I'm going to give that about a 7.5.
So I hope people could hear that because of all the background noise, but
That's an 8.
yeah. I mean, this is really good.
Thank God no one at home can see that, and it's just audio.
No,
So,
this is a first for us. This is the first time we've actually eaten anything on the podcast, so this is good.
We might do this a few more times this week during the conference where we bring something over maybe even for dinner tonight. We'll bring the dinner.
That dinner
over
last
there.
night was delicious.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. In fact, let's do that. Whatever we have for dinner, we're going to bring it out and eat. Folks, we're going to eat on the air.
Yep. All right, we'll see you on the next one.
Take care, everyone. Thanks.